Well, guys, I'm excited. My wife and I recently celebrated our second wedding anniversary. Thank you. Still early enough that you can feign excitement. Appreciate it. She and I have an 18-year age difference between us. My wife is 68 years old. So funny, I don't get it. Love knows no bounds. No, of course she's 32. I'm progressive, but I'm not that progressive. Because of the age difference, situations arise. Like I remember when I first met her oldest brother. My wife is the youngest of 5. When I met her oldest brother, he sat me down to have like a stern talking to the older brother talk. He's like, listen up, take good care of her, okay? But he himself is 10 years younger than I am. So he's like, yeah, I will, and I'll take good care of you too. Like, you'll all be taken care of. Because of the age difference, I have friends who feel that it's appropriate to present me with basic math problems. They'll say things like, dude, do you realize you're 50? That means if you have a kid now, when that kid is 10, you're gonna be 60. Yeah, I do know what 50 plus 10 is, thank you. If I didn't know that, I wouldn't feel equipped to bring a child into the world. Like, until you spoke up, my plan was to have the kid, wait 10 years, and see how old I was. My wife is very big on communication. She's always reading books, articles on communication, watching videos, and then she sends me the link. It's a weird way of communicating. But her latest technique, I'll share it with you, is simple enough. If you have a negative thought, you just cancel it. Sounds easy enough in theory, but now sometimes I'm speaking to her, and halfway through my sentence, she's like, cancel, cancel. Like, I don't think you're supposed to say that out loud. That just hurts my feelings. You take on different roles in a marriage, in a relationship. My wife has taken it upon herself to monitor my ear hair situation, which I was completely unaware was a situation, but she is on it. We're sitting on the couch at night. I feel her inching closer and closer, and then she yanks a hair out of my ear and shows it to me as if I'm a dog. She's like, bad, bad. I'm like, I'm twice your age. It's just biology. It is a very exciting time, though. My wife and I are expecting a baby December 28th. Yes. Thank you, thank you. Woo. Yes, that is our expectation. Whatever is growing in her belly right now is a baby. We're very excited about that. I am a comedian. She is an artist. So we're hoping maybe the kid can offer us some guidance, a bit of structure, even for the short term. Very exciting. We haven't picked a name yet for the child or a nationality. I understand Canada has free health care, so we might make a special Christmas trip up there and come back with an immigrant baby. Free of charge. I love America, but I also love free health care. So we've been discussing baby names. Right now our list is Logan, Kendall, Roman, and Shiv if it's a girl. We're binge watching Succession on HBO, so it could change in the next month. We'll see what we're watching late December. At least it wasn't last month. We were watching Peaky Blinders. The list was Polly, Tommy, and Aberama Gold. But, you know, it's very exciting. I feel somewhat anxious, you know, trying to be a good partner. My wife is somewhat hormonal. You know, she's in her 8th month of pregnancy, so I'm navigating that, figuring out when she wants to hear my opinion versus when she wants to hear her opinion in my voice. Not easy, friends, not easy. It's weird being the third most important person in a house that only has 2 people. what am I gonna do, folks? Life as we know it, changing forever. We have a very good thing going. My wife and I, we watch British crime dramas. That's our thing. No judgment if you like American, but we prefer the British. Find it much more British. We don't know what they're saying. We have to watch it with subtitles, but we just feel more important and smart. They're like, I don't know what's going on. I think they're in law enforcement. We watch Broadchurch, Luther, Line of Duty, Great British Bake Off, which strictly speaking is not a crime drama, but I thought season 3 did end in a robbery. Brandon definitely deserved it, in my opinion. My wife and I play this ongoing game where she adamantly insists that she does not want chips or chocolate in the house under any circumstances. And then I go grocery shopping, and invariably I buy chips and chocolate because I like those things, and I know that she does as well. And she gets very angry and says, I specifically told you I do not want chips and chocolate in the house. How could you do that? I say, I'm very sorry, it won't happen again. And then later that night, we're watching television, and I feel her inching closer. I know one of two things are about to happen. Either she's going to yank a hair out of my ear, or she will mumble almost inaudibly, well, since we have chips and chocolate, we're going to And then I go into the kitchen and fetch the chips and chocolate and lay them out before her, and then she starts to snack like a happy little squirrel, and she's like, this can never happen again. I'm like, it won't happen again. But it will happen again. That's the way the game is played. But my wife, she is, it's weird. It fluctuates. She's very she's very effusive and loving, and then she takes a turn for the worse. It's like if I had a Yelp page, she would leave the most glowing reviews, followed by the most scathing reviews, like the same username. People would be like, "Who is this woman?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know. It's confusing. I live with her." She is 8 months pregnant, so she's got like a bit of a waddle. She's almost like the sheriff. She comes walking in, kicks the door open. You pick up them cleaning supplies we talked about? Yeah, Sheriff, I sure did. I picked them up. I don't want there to be any trouble. Nor do I, Sheriff, nor do I. I love being married. I love living with my wife. She scares me a lot of times. I've described marriage as like feeling like a kid again. You know that feeling like when you're in trouble, but you're not sure exactly why? It's like that. Sometimes I get yelled at for things like that kind of seem like inconceivable. Sometimes like just arriving home. I startle her. She's in the midst of something. The other day she was meditating, and I came home to where I live with her. And she yelled at me. She said, what are you doing? I was like, arriving home. And she's like, I'm meditating. I'm like, I think you're doing it wrong. Love her very much. She and I do not sext one another. No judgment if you do. We just don't sext. What we do is we send one another properties on Zillow or Trulia. That's like our dirty talk. We're like, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. You are a bad girl. Let's go, Sheriff. Or if we really want to get naughty, we'll send properties that are way out of our price range. We're like, 800,000? You are nasty. Who likes a big backyard? Who likes a big backyard? You do. I noticed that you do. When you buy a house, there are like questions you're supposed to ask. So I've been reading articles about that. They tell you to ask certain questions. How long were the previous owners living here? What repairs did they make? And then there was an article that said to ask, are there sex offenders in the neighborhood? Which I didn't feel comfortable asking that, looking the way I do. Like, I'd be like, babe, I think you better handle that. I don't want to be like, so, what's the competition like in the area? I want to get a handle on what I'm getting myself into. Right now, we've been visiting people who already have kids. That's our plan for now, just to get a sense of the terrain. We went to visit another of her brothers. He and his wife have twin 4-year-olds and a 1-year-old. And that almost pushed our timetable back to never. Wow, what an eye-opener that was. Literally every morning, the twins would burst through our door at 6 a.m. and jump in the bed. And at first it was kind of cute. We were like, oh, I guess this is just how they start the day. It's adorable. The second day, they came through again at 6. We just pretended like we were still asleep, but undeterred, they slid under the bed and just kept repeating, wake up, wake up. The third day, we just packed up and got the hell out of there. We had seen enough. So am I equipped? I don't know. You know me, 10 minutes, 5 minutes so far. What do you think? I am excited. You know, I mean, like, if I'm 50, if I'm not ready now, honestly, you know, when's it gonna happen? But it is exciting. You know, it was welcome news for many reasons. Mostly because we were trying and because I'd been experiencing erectile issues. Not the good kind, if there is such a thing. Is there such a thing as good erectile issues? Like, doc, you gotta help me. It's just erect all the time. It's getting to be an issue. No, mine were intermittent, which is not what you want, obviously, in your erections. You want them on demand, like your Wi-Fi, as many bars as possible. But alas, mine had become intermittent. So I've been taking Viagra, which helps with the situation, but it does take some of the spontaneity out of the amorous proceedings. It requires some planning. So I'll say, babe, I'm thinking of taking a Viagra. What does your next hour, hour and a half look like? And does the thought of me with a medically induced erection factor into how you see that going? I'm gonna need a hard yes or a semi-soft no. Sometimes even with the planning, it does not work out. One time I took a Viagra, about an hour went by, I said, babe, it's go time. She said, actually, I'm sorry, I'm not in the mood. Is it okay if we watch a movie instead? So then cut to me sitting on the couch with an erection watching Beauty and the Beast. Singing Perhaps There's Something There That Wasn't There Before. There's something sweet, almost kind, but he was mean and he was crossing on your time. But now he's sweet and so much more. It's even better with an erection. I'm not doing it justice. It's really next level.
My daughter came home and she goes, Dad, all my friends in my friends group have anxiety, but I don't have it. And that's making me anxious. And I was like, awesome, it's airborne. See? Perfect. I didn't know a lot about anxiety before she said that, and I started researching it, and I've come to the conclusion there are two main types of anxiety: real and fake. Please keep in mind, just because you don't know anyone with fake anxiety doesn't mean it isn't real. Because I have a friend with fake anxiety, and that's all I need for this test group to be right. I only need one. He's an asshole, and then he uses fake anxiety as an excuse to be an asshole. And that bothers me for several reasons. Number one, you're faking something you don't have that some people do have. And number two, I'm an asshole, but I don't have anxiety, so I'm just an asshole. Right? Like, I wake up, I'm in a bad mood, I don't like what you're doing, and then I'm mean to you. That's amazing. You're the youngest person that's ever shake their head for that, just like, yeah, I like that idea. Most of the time, young people are like, wait, you can do that? And it's like, yeah, you can do that. It's awesome. You should try it. I give people 2 warning shots, and then I go off. That's just how I live my life. I was in a grocery store once, and a guy had his cart parked up against the food I needed, and so I even tried to lighten the mood. I go, hey, excuse me, you put my food in jail. Right? Kind of clever. Like, my food's in jail. He goes, yeah, just a second. And I go, oh, I don't want to wait for parole, so if we could move your cart. And he goes, just a second. And I just said, fucking move it. That's 2 nice tries. And then I'm not going to sit here and beg you to move your fucking cart all day. There's no way. And I'm going to tell you something. It felt great. You used to be able to yell at people. It was awesome. And now you can't yell at anyone. It's just insanity. Right, when he left the store, I didn't try to run him over with my car. I didn't follow him home and murder his family and boil his pets. Right? I'm not that far into that book. I just asked him nicely twice. He didn't do it, and I said, fucking move it! Pressure just... like hot yoga for my whole body, but just took a sec. I was born before technology, and we used to write pen pals from other countries. I can see some older people going, yeah. Not older, my age. Yes, we did that. And then you'd forget about it. And then 6 months later, you were like, what is this? What are these letters? And what does that sickle mean? Just so excited. Like, you have to wait in line for bread? My fucking life is great! It's probably just written by your teacher to let you know how great your life was. But I think we should return to the pen pal thing, but we should call. We should have somebody in another country that we can call every morning when we wake up and just go, hey, is this Henri? Oh, it is? Awesome. I think you suck. Hang up the phone. Just be like, you need coffee? I don't. I just told Henri he sucks and I feel great. And then Henri will call me the next day, because it's a partnership. And he'll go, hey, Chad, is this you? And I'll go, yes, it is. And he'll go, you do have tits. And he'll hang up. And then he's like walking around like, oh, he has tits. It's so funny. I feel great. You gotta let the steam off, man. You go crazy. My friend with fake anxiety, I'm gonna tell you how I know it's fake. I know, we're back and forth again. Remember, 12th night in a calendar year. My friend with fake anxiety, he uses 3 words that no one with real anxiety would ever use. He talked to me one day and he goes, hey, sorry about your party, but my anxiety got the best of me and I was just being an asshole all night long. There they are, all night long. Someone with real anxiety doesn't do anything all night long, especially if it's bothering other people. I have friends with real anxiety. They could put the spoon in the bean dip incorrectly and just be like, oh, I made another mark in the bean dip. It was supposed to go in this mark and I made this mark. I don't like it here. And they leave. They just leave. And then they'll call me 3 days later, and my friends call it an episode when they have them, right? They're like, hey, sorry about that episode. Thanks for still being my friend. It's like, of course I'm still your friend. It's bean dip, for Christ's sake. Not only that, if I'm ever in an emergency, you're one of the only people I want around, because I bet you've been worrying about that shit since the 3rd grade. Probably have a 3-ring binder with a ton of ways to get out of it. I look at my friends with anxiety kind of like superheroes, man, because it's weird. If I was on a plane that was crashing, I would look for someone with anxiety to calm me down. And I know that doesn't make sense, but let's go to the chart. My resting worry is way down here. I don't worry about much. Someone with anxiety, their resting worry is up here. You put me in a plane crash, weep, I'm way up here. Someone with anxiety, still right down here. Want to know why? Because it's just a plane crash. It's just a standard, run-of-the-mill, hitting the ground and exploding plane crash, right? Their parents aren't on the flight telling them what they've done wrong since 6th grade. You're like, why are you so calm? Like, oh, when I thought about a plane crash, we didn't even crash into Earth. The Earth opened up and we landed in the middle, and lava monsters ate our brains while we were still alive. And it's like, oh, yeah, this is way better. Thank you. Also, 2 weeks ago, I called a stranger's service animal by the wrong name, and I haven't really slept. So I'm just kind of ready to get it over with.
It's just nuts what's going on in Florida in the Moms for Liberty banning books. Nothing says liberty like banning books. As I said, I live in New York. I live there by choice. I live in a place that shares the values of my wife and I, and I'm thrilled that I can raise a kid there in Brooklyn. I'm thrilled, where it's the exact opposite of my shitty fucking childhood. And we live in a very diverse neighborhood, culturally, ethnically, economically. It's diverse. There's, and it's great. And she goes to a great school down the street, public school, great public school, and she's in the minority. She's in the minority at that school, and don't freak out. She's got white friends, but we made sure of it. No, it's awesome, but what's going to be weird is, at some point, she's inevitably going to have a conversation with a kid who is educated in Florida or Georgia or South Carolina or North Carolina or Kentucky or Virginia or West Virginia or Tennessee or Alabama or Mississippi or Louisiana or Texas or Oklahoma or Arkansas or Idaho or Iowa or North Dakota or South Dakota or Arizona or Utah. And it's going to be weird because they will have completely different frames of references, They'll be understanding completely different worlds of what is real and what's not, what occurred, what history is, And, my daughter will be there on the playground, and be like, hi, I'm Marlo and I'm 6. Oh, I'm Eve, I'm 6 too, I'm from Florida. My mom's making fish sticks for dinner. Hey, you want to play on the monkey bars? Yeah. There's a better way to do this. This makes more sense. Is there anybody who's willing to come up here and read something with me? Oh, ma'am. Okay. Yeah. Come over. Enter this way. And be mindful. Don't step on this. That's a light. That's glass. Okay. Great. What's your name? Jackie. All right, thank you. Okay, Jackie. What's it? Yeah, there you go. What's your name?
I'm JP.
Okay, let's figure this out. This will be, I'll put you over here. Here, step up.
Yes.
A little bit more.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Now, Jackie, I have to ask you because everyone will. This is like the 56th show we've done or something like that, and I know people are going to ask you. They'll ask me, "Are you a plant?"
Am I a plant? Oh, like
a shill in the audience.
No.
Right.
No.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think this will be better. Do it this way. This will make more sense. If you see two lines next to each other, then we both read them at the same time. That's called dual dialogue.
What? Two lines where the highlighted ones or the?
No, just if you do. Wait, those All right, I'll start again. Okay, I'll start again. We'll start from
in the part
start
where it
from the
says
top.
David is you, right? No.
Yeah, I should have. What was I thinking? I should have put JP. Damn it. Oh, boy. I fucked that one up. Yeah, I guess I'll read David's part. All right, I'm gonna start over. Ready? I mean, I think this will be better to do it this way. Makes more sense. And if you see two lines next to each other, we both read at the same time. That's called dual dialogue.
And I just read this part?
Well, that's one way to approach it. I would go with the present tense as opposed to past tense. So if you were to read that in present tense, it would say...
Oh, and I just read this part?
Where it says audience member. Here, I've highlighted it.
Okay.
So I'll read
Marlo's
Marlo's
part?
No. You read the part of audience member. You're audience member.
Hello, I have a name. Maybe you would call me by my name instead of the insulting and dehumiliating audience member.
Or dehumanizing. But
Whatever,
sorry,
it's
you
the
can
same
make up
shit.
words. You can make words. Make up words. Okay, well, look, I'm going to be doing this, reading this all over North America and Europe. Probably not Mexico. But anyway, I can't anticipate every person's name.
I have a very common name. It's Shandavich Amarillion.
Oh. What kind of name is that?
It's Roman for lightheaded.
Roman, you mean Latin?
Nope.
Okay, well, all right, you're the other kid. Let's just read the script, okay?
Yes, I'm really excited to tackle this truly important work.
What? Are you being sarcastic?
Yes?
Well, then fucking act like it. Deliver the line the way it was meant to be delivered.
I'm really excited to tackle this important work.
Wow. Wow.
Are you being sarcastic?
Look, can we just do the script where your kid talks to the homeschooled kid from Florida or wherever? I need to take my insulin shot pretty soon.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you had diabetes.
I don't. I just really love glucose. Can't get enough of it.
Is that supposed to be a joke?
I know, right? Do you think I could open for you?
Would you do that joke?
I would only do that joke twice.
Twice?
Once in Mandarin. Look, are we going to do this thing or not?
Yeah, sure, but I want to hear you do that joke in Mandarin first.
Tonal language.
What was that? All right, yeah. Okay, well, that's Cantonese, so that's not... Hey, you're going for it. That's fine. A lot of people will... All right. All right, ready?
Okay.
That wasn't the script. This is the script.
Oh, sure. Oh.
No, that wasn't the script. No, this
that
is
was
the
the script about the script.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
all right. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi,
Hi,
I'm Marlo, and I'm 6.
I'm Eve. I'm 6'2". Want to play with me on the monkey bars?
Yeah!
Okay, we have to pray the Pledge of Allegiance first.
What's that?
The Pledge of Allegiance to the flag I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, except for New York and California.
And to the Republicans for which it stands, one nation, under the police with... Aren't you gonna do it?
I don't know what that is.
It's the official saying of America. I do it at school.
Oh, what school do you go to? I go to PS 62.
You call your living room PS 62?
No, that's my school. Miss Clavin is my teacher. She also plays piano there too.
My school is at home and my mommy teaches me.
Oh, your mommy is a teacher?
Well, now she is, because the old school was teaching us lies.
Oh, I know what a lie is. Like 2 + 2 is 5 or something like that.
2 + 2 is 5. No, a lie is like saying that black people didn't want to be slaves or that there are Jews in heaven. Made up lies like that. Like when the old school tried to teach us symbol rights.
What's symbol rights?
Symbol rights is a trick of the devil to get us to like other people. Did you know that Jews are the devil too? And gays? In fact, the Jewish Democrat devil invented rainbow flags to groom us into sodomy. They won't teach us that at school either, so that's why mommy teaches me now, to keep me safe.
Well, safe from what?
From the Hollywood pedophiles, or the communist Jews, or Muslims, or Mexicans, or libtards, or angry, lazy black mermaids who are all out to get me.
Oh. Okay. Well, can we play now?
I have to make sure you're not vaccinated first.
Because of the boogies in the air?
No, because George Soros and AOC and the liberal woke fake news. Sorry, I'm not really that comfortable with this.
Oh, just read.
Okay. Look, I thought you were gonna do Tobias jokes. That's why my mommy and I came down here. That's why we entered the contest. We weren't expecting a whole diatribe about the limitations and dangers of homeschooling.
Wait, what contest are you talking about?
Yes, at Panda Express. They had a contest to win a free ticket of soy sauce, packet of soy sauce.
Yeah, ticket of soy sauce wouldn't make much sense. But you'd get a ticket and then you'd go.
That's what I thought I
Yeah.
was getting today.
So you would get a ticket, and then then you'd go back to the same person and say, "Can I turn
your
this?"
packet of soy sauce.
That makes no sense to me. Or would you just? Would they go here? Can I have some soy sauce? Can I? Well, we'll give you a ticket for some, and then and who do I give this to? Me. Okay. And then they give. It seems extraneous. It seems like an extra step.
It is.
Anyway, continue.
But we lost the contest and ended up with 2 tickets to this show. My bad, I thought you were Dave Attell.
Come on, mommy. Let's get out of here. This guy sucks. Can't even finish a bit. Worst daddy in the world. My asshole. More like worst daddy in the whole country.
JP! Give it up for Jackie.
Every time people find out that I'm from Venezuela, and if they know somebody from there, they think I know them too. Like there, this lady come up to me like, oh, you're from Venezuela. I know somebody from there. You probably know him. His name is Jose. No last name. I was like, lady, there's a lot of Jose's in Venezuela. I'm not gonna know him, all right? But then she showed me the picture. I'm like, oh, fuck, that's my cousin. You gotta like it, lady. I'm also a U.S. citizen, so I do have an American accent. Not this one. I have another one that I use when I need to. Like when I go to Starbucks, I have to use it because they never understand my name, right? So that was there. The girl's like, can I get your name? So I use my American accent, you know, I'm like, my name is Francisca. And the girl's like, how do you spell that? I was like, it's like San Francisco, but without the San. And then I got the cup and it said San Jose. I was like, what the? Is my cousin here? What's going on? Oh, man. Good thing that's happening this year. I'm getting married, guys. I'm getting married. Thank you. Doing it. I proposed to my fiance. I went to Italy. I did it in Italy. I did it over there, which was nice. And if you get a chance to go to Italy, go. It's a great country. Food is amazing. One advice, though, if you go to Italy, you go to a restaurant, the waiters, they really don't care what you order. Like, they just tell you what they want you to order. That was my experience. I was with my girlfriend at this restaurant. I'm looking at the menu, and I go to the waiter. I'm like, yes, I'm going to have the pasta carbonara. And the waiter's like, no, you're having the risata. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, my girlfriend, she has a tree nut allergy. It's like, no, she doesn't. I was like, but she can die. No, she won't. So she's dead. She's alive. We're planning the wedding now, which is pretty cool. We're doing it together, and now, which is great. But now she's asking me questions about the wedding, about stuff that I really don't care about. No, like she's asking about like what kind of flowers should we have in the wedding, which, like, I don't care. I mean, like, I want to have flowers, but I don't care what type, you know what I mean? Because I just want to have a good party, you know? And a good party to me is good food, good music, good drinks, right? Because I never been to a party where the flowers are the shit, you know what I mean? Where you get there, you're like, fuck! Did you see the lilacs? They're fucking fresh! And you can do cocaine off the eucalyptus. Shit. By the way, we're planning the wedding. We're doing it. We're getting married in Spain. In Spain, we're doing it in Spain, and yeah. And the reason we're doing that is because we love to vacation, you know. And I love vacation because when you're on vacation, we all change as human beings. Like people here on vacation, we all change. We all become different people. Like when you're on vacation, your budget does not matter. Right? Prices don't matter. Doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, you become a prince or a princess. Right? You could be any restaurant. You're like, $25 for a beer? Fuck it, we're on vacation. One more, garçon. Right? But as soon as you go back home, that changes, right? You question everything, right? You're like, $25 for antibiotics? One thing that I don't like what people do on vacation, though, is when people wear touristy clothes. I don't like that. Where are you guys from? No, you're not. You're not. No, that wasn't. No, you guys are fine. This is a good example. I don't know where you guys from. Where you guys? Florida. You see, I couldn't tell. I like that. You're not wearing touristy clothes. I don't like touristic. For example, like a Hawaiian shirt. You know, I don't like that. No, and let me give you my reason. I don't like it because, like I said, I was born in Venezuela, so I'm always very suspicious about everything. I think some bad shit's about to happen. So I never want to draw attention to myself. So when I see somebody walking around like a tourist, I'm like, oh, this person wants to get kidnapped. You know what I mean? Just like, I'm not from here, rob me. Fuck that. I don't do that. I blend in, right? I see what people are wearing, and I wear the same stuff. That's why I was in Italy. I was walking around in a Speedo. Nobody touched me. I mean, they did, but not to rob me. Hey, where's the risotto? So I've been living, like I said, I was born in Venezuela, but I've been living in the U.S. since I was 12. I moved here when I was to Maryland when I was 12. I grew up in the East Coast. So I've been living most of my life, but I still feel like I have like this third world country DNA in me. And by that, I mean that when you come from a third world country, you're resourceful, like you solve problems quick, because shit doesn't work in a third world country. So you gotta find solutions. You just don't give up in life. For example, like if there's no hot water, heat it up. There's no manager you can call. And somebody's always gonna help you in a third world country, and they're always gonna say something like, "Let's see what I can do." Like that's the phrase, and that's everywhere because the other day I was at this bar, and the bartender was Cuban, and my girlfriend wanted a Diet Coke. So I go and talk to the bartender in Spanish. I was like, "Hey, bro, can I get a Diet Coke?" And the bartender realized that I was from Venezuela, so he's like, "Hey, bro, so we don't have Diet Coke, but what I can do is that I can give you some regular Coke and put some water on it." And I was like, all right. But that was the mindset, you see? Like he just didn't go like, "We don't have it." He's like, "No, we're gonna come up with a solution here. We're gonna solve this problem." Which, by the way, I would love to see this guy as a doctor, just doing the same thing, right? Right, back in Cuba, it's like, so welcome. So you need a blood transfusion. So your blood type is A positive. We don't have that. But what I can do is that I can give you some A negative and then add some B negative. Because 2 negatives make a positive, papi. But yeah, like I mentioned, my fiancée, she's like from North Carolina. She's from Asheville. And she loves to do stuff that she did back in North Carolina that she wants to do with me now all the time. So like during last Halloween, she wanted to go to a pumpkin patch with me. But I didn't grow up with a pumpkin patch. Like, I don't know what the pumpkin patch is. But I was like, all right, let's go to the pumpkin patch. So we went to the pumpkin patch. You know what I realized about the pumpkin patch? It's just people taking pictures with a vegetable. That's pretty much it, right? It's a zoo for vegetables. And I didn't grow up with that concept because back in Venezuela, my dad never took me to the supermarket with a camera. I'd be like, "Hey, Francisco, stand next to the bananas." Like, they're not ready. Which, by the way, that shows you like what a first world country is, right? To go to a field of food just to take pictures? What the fuck? That's amazing, right? I would love to take one of my cousins that are living in Venezuela right now. I'd be like, "Look, we're gonna go to the US and I'm gonna take you to a pumpkin patch." And my cousin's like, "Fuck yeah, let's go to the pumpkin patch." And we get there and it's like Willy Wonka and the chocolate factory, right? I'm like Willy Wonka, I'm like, "Come with me." And you'll be in a first world of pure gentrification. And my cousin's like, "Wow, so many pumpkins. I'm gonna eat that one, and I'm gonna eat that one." I'm like, "Oh, no. We take pictures here, Charlie." But you can pick one pumpkin, or we can take that one home. Okay, because we eat it at home. No, we make a scary face out of it. Wait, so when do we eat the pumpkin? We never eat the pumpkin. We let it rot outside. Welcome to the first world.
I was always made to feel very insecure about my stutter. People made me feel insecure about my stutter. And then I started doing stand-up. I started going to speech therapy. I had some success with both. And now, people will point out when I don't stutter. So I get insecure about that. So I don't really know when to do it. You guys just pick a fucking time, and I will. And you see, I love this job. I love that this is my job, but it is frustrating. Because if you meet somebody out on the street who has a speech impediment and they make a joke about it, you're like, "Oh, that's very self-aware." But the difference with mine is sometimes people will think it's a gimmick or it's an act. And I think that's because I make jokes about it on a stage. It's just because location is everything, baby. Right? Like if you see someone in a wheelchair at the bank, you're like, oh, that person's disabled. But you see someone in a wheelchair at Disneyland, you're like, that bitch is cutting. I was bullied when I was a kid because I was a fat kid and I studied theater, and that's all you need. My bully, his name was Andrew, and every day Andrew saw me out in the neighborhood, he would call me a fat. He would go, "You're such a fat." Okay, I added that. I studied theater, so I tried. Shut up. But the fact he said that to me every day, it was almost a visceral reaction. He'd be like, "Get out of here, you." And one day, Andrew's older brother took his own mattress into the woods so he could film himself white water rafting on it as an audition to get on the show Man vs. Wild. And this is true. His brother actually died doing that. Yes, is very sad for you guys hearing it. Because I remember that day. I remember it very, very, very vividly. Because the next day, I saw my bully, Andrew, out in the neighborhood. And there was a power shift. He looked in my eyes and he knew that I knew. I had heard the news. So I said to myself, do I now use this as an opportunity to take advantage of my bully when he was at his most vulnerable, the same way that he had done to me every single day? But instead, I just opted to take the high road. And I said to Andrew just what it was that I said to him every day. And I was like, hey man, hey, I'll suck your dick for a Snickers. We're in the 2020s now, and last year really had me thinking about where we are now versus where we were, say 100 years ago. 100 years ago, it was the 1920s. It was the Prohibition, and it was illegal to have alcohol in your bar. And to think, in 100 years, shit's gotten worse. 100 years ago, if you had alcohol in your bar, the cops, they would kick down the front door. Someone would yell, "Ha! It's the fuzz!" Scatter! Which is the best last call of all time. Imagine you're holding your martini and so someone comes in and yells, "Scatter?" It's like, oh shit, the fuzz. That's probably how the shot was invented. That's why I get irritated anytime I hear some college chick at a bar who's like, you guys want to do shots? It's like, Cassidy, you don't know the history. They used to do it to warm up their core because they had to run from the fuzz. Now, 100 years later, 2020s, you can't even have people in your bar. Can you imagine if the cops time traveled from 1920s? They kick open some door, some bar downtown. They'd have to say it themselves. We're the fuzz. And maybe 3 of you would look up from your phone. That's a sad day to have to report back to the chief of police. Chief! We busted the place on 6th. Yeah? Did they scatter? Well, they was already pretty scattered. It was like 6 feet. It was weirdly specific. Well, what were they doing? Well, they was all wearing masks, but they wasn't stealing nothing. Were they drinking alcohol? It's tough to say, Chief. It was seltzer in a can. Must have been a clinic for upset tummies. Well, then what happened? Well, then they got in separate getaway cars that they ordered from their hand radios. Separate getaway cars? Yeah, the cars were all different, but the drivers were all Persian. That is suspicious, Detective. You want to talk about suspicious, Chief? And then we saw a black fella standing outside the bar who was doing absolutely nothing illegal whatsoever. Ah, thank God. You arrested someone. Guys, it's a joke. Obviously they shot him. It's the cops. What do you think happened? It's the cops. No, just that guy. Thank you. Just one guy for the injustices of police brutality. That'll help.
It's really hard being a pandemic parent during that. Was anybody else pregnant during that period of time? It was hard. It was so. It's hard to explain to people how bad it was, just because we were in the epicenter, right? It was like for us, it was like March, April, May, June, right? The epicenter of the pandemic, 2020, right? And we couldn't see our friends, we couldn't see our families. I couldn't go to doctor's visits with my partner, right? We couldn't meet other pregnant couples who were going through the same thing, right? It was really sad, and it was lonely. Like we didn't have a baby shower, like we didn't do a gender reveal because we're not idiots, like. Gender reveals is so stupid, man. Because it's not even the gender. It's the gender that was assigned at birth, right? Because imagine in like 15 years, your kid goes up to you, he's like, Dad, I'm transgender. Oh, what? You mean I accidentally burnt down that forest for nothing? Damn. So anyway, like, things were incredibly hard in New York, right? And you saw all these stories of, bodies being put into freezers and into trucks, and we were constantly worried about, like, getting COVID and the kid getting COVID, and it was just horrible. So we did what we thought made sense. We flew cross country to where her parents live to have the baby. It was a smart thing to do. Unfortunately, where we went, that place was San Diego. And I fucking hate San Diego, man. San Diego fucking sucks. Where, are you from San Diego? Or are we booing San Diego? The problem with boos is that they don't say a lot in terms of the context. Let me explain to you why San Diego sucks, all right? All right. When you ask somebody from San Diego what's great about San Diego, what do they say? Oh, the weather's wonderful, right? The weather's great, right? That's how you know it sucks. That means nothing else is going on. Just talking about the climate? What is that? In New York, we don't talk about the weather. We have a billion things to do and talk about, right? Also, our weather sucks here, so what are we even gonna say? Oh, summers in New York are wonderful. It's like 100 degrees and humid, and all the smells from the subway rise to the surface. All the ghosts of fluids past enter your nostrils and make the rent worth it. Luckily, we have a million other things to talk about. And fucking San Diego, people in San Diego don't go to museums unless there's a museum about board shorts. San Diego is an intellectual and cultural void. All it is people at the beach blasting Amber by 311 on repeat. That's all it is. Amber is the color of your energy. What the fuck does that mean, San Diego? My poor child was born there. One day I'm gonna have to break it to him, because he's gonna have questions. Daddy, how come I struggle to read? You were born in San Diego, son. They're not big fans of the written word there. Daddy, how come people say I have a crappy personality? You were born in San Diego, son. Characters built on hardship. They don't even have rain there. Daddy, is the reason why I'm always kind of tan because I'm from San Diego? No, son, it's because you're half Indian. But the fact you asked me that stupid of a question is because you're from San Diego. The people in the hospital were wonderful. All the doctors and the nurses, all the staff there. I think they were all transplants from other cities, and they were great. On the second day, we met this lactation specialist who taught my partner how to use a breast pump, and she was wonderful. She loved her job so much, maybe a little too much. So at one point, she said, oh my God, I had so much extra breast milk after my last pregnancy, I started putting it in my cereal. That's how you know you've been in the breast milk game a little too long. When you start saying shit like that to civilians, not other people in the breast milk community. There's a big debate amongst parents, how long is too long to breastfeed your child, right? And I think that if your child is able to say, Mother, can I have some of your sweet, sweet breast milk? In a text message, it's probably too long. It's probably too long. Maybe it's time to unlatch. Me and my partner are not married, or as my mother tells her friends and family, we're married. Yeah, she's old school. She's old school about the idea of children out of wedlock. I know she's old school because she used the phrase children out of wedlock. I'm fine with that. You know, different generation, I understand that. What bothers me is when the government has judgments, right? After we had the kid, I'm in the hospital room, filling out a form, and the question is relationship status, and there's only two options, single and married. Well, I'm not single, we're not married, where's the box for us? Where's the box that says loving, deeply committed relationship, right? No box for that. A lot of missing boxes. No box for that, no box for like bad marriage. Rando. Open relationship. Open relationship where one person is into it way more than the other person. No, just single and married, right? So I reluctantly check single, give it back to the nurse. The nurse gives me another form. It's a proof of paternity form. It's a legal document I have to sign to swear this is actually my child, right? And I found out that married fathers don't have to sign that form because apparently the assumption is they're married, so clearly it's their kid. You know, give me an example where that's not the case. I don't know, Jesus? That seems to be a notable example. Must have been weird for Joseph to fill out the forms. I mean, like, okay, so we're married, right? But it was an immaculate conception, so like it's like God's kid, but we are like married, and he is my son, but you know, it's a little complicated. And then the nurse was like, "Oh, is that what she told you?" I know that some people don't like when I talk about Christianity. Like, why don't you talk about your own religion? How come you can't use your own religion for that joke? You don't think I want to? My God, perfect parallel, like Shiva and Parvati, right? And Parvati makes Ganesha out of turmeric and brings him to life. It's like perfect, right? But I can't use that example because nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Gotta explain everything. Oh, Ganesha, is that the monkey one? No, it's not the monkey one. Not the monkey one. Gotta explain what turmeric is. This is turmeric. You know? No? Turmeric. Oh, turmeric! Why didn't you say so? I love turmeric. Oh my, I put it in my chai tea. In my tea. And then I say namaste. It's pronounced namaste. Wendy at yoga says namaste, so I don't know. I like how I did so many jokes so far, and this is the one that bothers Brooklyn the most. This is the one that's a little too close to home. So, at a certain point, my partner and the baby, they left the room. I guess they went to get some tests or something, and this doctor walked in, and I was still pissed off about the relationship status question on the form. So I go up to him and I'm like, hey, I think this is bullshit that like it just says single and married because I'm neither of those things, but there's no box for me. Like there is no box for loving, deeply committed relationship. And I don't know if there's anything you can do about it, but I'd like to do something here. And he looked at me, he's like, hey, the government says you're single, so I say you're single. I say you party, man. Wait, you like nurses? I met the only doctor in this hospital from San Diego. Is that what happened? So then he's like, hey, you Indian? Which, whatever follows is not gonna be good, right? I'm like, yes, I'm Indian. He's like, oh, I went to med school with an Indian guy, which is suspect immediately, right? Like, oh, you went to med school with just one Indian guy? Just one Indian guy in your med school, just one. Where was the med school? Pakistan? How on earth is that possible? How is that just one? Just one. So I went to med school with this Indian guy. He's Brahmin. Brahmins are like really strict caste. They don't eat meat. They don't drink alcohol. The other castes don't like him. And it's like so he's Brahmin. So we went out to dinner. And I offered him some chicken. He's like, oh, I can't eat that. I'm a Brahmin. And I'm like, oh, you're a Brahmin? Well, I'm a tit man. No wonder we're friends. And then he walked out of the room. And to this day, I don't know if this man was actually a doctor. You walk into my room, you tell me to cheat on my partner the day my child is born. You tell me a weird Indian caste joke with a pun. And then you leave. You're like the fucking reverse Patch Adams. Clown pretending to be a doctor.
You know who don't got their shit together though? People who smoke. I don't think so, yo. They always asking somebody for a lighter. And I'll be confused like, nigga, don't you do this every single day? You knew the steps way before you was gonna get here. How you managed to come unprepared? Like, if I wasn't here, how was you gonna find fire? How? Why are you using me? How was you gonna find it? That's my question. What you gonna do if I'm not here? All right then. And they look at you. They just like, it's like they scan the room just to see who look like they got a light. You, yo. They never say anything. It's like their mute button is on. You got a light. They never say, you got a light. Why are you doing that? I don't know if you heard me or not. All right. Even if you don't smoke, you still tap your pockets. Like, you got a light? Hold on, let me see if I got a light. Give me 1 minute, hold on, I could have sworn. You always could have sworn something. Hold on, I could have sworn. No, I could have sworn this. I'm butt-ass nigga right now. Why am I tapping how did you get into my apartment? I don't know, get the fuck out. You don't live here. I live in 3B. 3B, no. Jeff lives in 3B, you don't live there. Crazy. And no one like recently, like I had dreadlocks, right? I had dreadlocks, which is the beautiful thing, right? But I just cut them, right? And it's beautiful, right? It's black, all right? Strong, all right? But it's a responsibility. Because when you have dreadlocks, for some reason, everybody thinks you know how to roll a blunt. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. It's like my hair doesn't show that I have that skill. Why do you think I'm the master at that? And they just come to you, you got a lot. Oh, all right, let's go act. Yo, roll this. Roll this. First of all, we are in urgent care. I cannot roll this for you, Dr. Hennessy. Where's my COVID-19 results? Why are you telling me to do this while I wait? Why? Hard. Which, no one talks about how hard it is to roll a blunt. That is very difficult to do. No one talks about that. Look at all the people who know how to roll. Wow. How dare you not know how to roll a blunt? Shame on you and your family. Dishonor. It's like, what am I, Mulan? It's not that deep, bro. It's really not that deep. It's not that shame on you. I got a trauma. I got to climb up a tree. This is crazy. Where Mushu at when you need him? This is wild. This is crazy. Disney movie vibes. Like during the pandemic, like I had like a lot of time on my hands, and I literally took the time out to learn how to roll a blunt. Literally did. I was watching tutorials, right? And in this specific one, like Wiz Khalifa was like the master class instructor. This dude is horrible, yo. He's a horrible teacher. Because he's teaching you how to roll a blunt in a jacuzzi. I'm like, I can't focus right now. Too much bubbles everywhere. And why is it baby oil in the background? What's happening within this video right now? What's going on? Yeah, Wiz Khalifa used baby oil? That's crazy. He's a grown man. I guess so. I mean, if need be, but guess. Right? Yo, he's teaching you how to roll a blunt, right? He's like, all you gotta do is just bubbles just popping over the blunt. All you gotta do is just put the weed in the middle and just tuck it. That's all he was saying. Just tuck the weed and you should be good. Like, all right, Wiz Khalifa. Right? Following week, right? I just so happened to be on like an edible, right? And it has some weed, like, you know, just like hanging around, right? So I decided, I'm like, all right, cool. Let me try to do what Wiz Khalifa did, right? Did exactly the same thing, but I didn't have a jacuzzi, so I was trying to roll a blunt in my tub. Yo. Literally, like, so I'm trying, right? No bubbles, just straight water. Straight water. Now you can tell me to take a bath, like, man, this is clear. This is like too clear. Ain't no bubbles or nothing. Right, so I'm trying to roll the blunt, right? Literally, all of the weed was just falling down. Everything, just as soon as I put it in, everything was just falling down. Like, I looked like a ripped tea bag. It was so much. Fucking residue everywhere. I don't know if Ajax gonna get this out. This is crazy. Then I had Yogi T quotes. I'm like, Yogi T quotes? One of the quotes said, be whole and never give anyone half of your Reese's peanut butter cup. I said, oh my God. Thank you so much, Yogi. Crazy. That's why I feel like, I don't know. That's why I feel like rolling the blunt should be in the Olympics, yo. Because it's very competitive. We're very competitive. Every place think, you know, their weed is better than their weed, right? Every people think they can roll better than the next person. All right, and then they say like marijuana is like recreation, right? All right, so let it be a sport. Let it be a sport. It's very competitive. That should be dope in the Olympics, right? Have probably like an announcer and everything like that, right? Like as he crushes the weed, a little bit about him, he was a finalist in the neighborhood. He was the only one who knew how to roll a blunt in the stairwell while his mom was at work. Right? Just be on the field like this. Wow, amazing to see. I'm just saying. By any chance you happen to have a lighter, it's like, oh, this. Wow. Wow. He been rolling for like 5 minutes. He ain't checked the check. Wow, that is crazy to see. I think he gonna get bronze on that one. That is wow. We are just competitive, man. Nothing wrong with like a little competition. I think it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Like I love, like I'm a big sports guy. Like I love basketball, yo. I love like watching like the documentaries, the basketball. Like my favorite documentary is Kobe Bryant Muse. That's like one of my favorite documentaries on Showtime, right? And I wanted to be a basketball player. I really did, but basketball too competitive, yo, sometimes. It's too competitive, yo. Because like for some reason, like when people find out you know how to play basketball, they automatically think they better than you. Automatically think they better than you, right? They don't even have to see you play. They just think they better than you. Like, word, you play basketball, word? Okay, that's what's up. You be on your ball. Okay, I'll bust your ass. You don't play basketball. Get the fuck out of here. This nigga's garbage, yo. This nigga's garbage. I'll bust your ass. I give you 30. They always want to give you 30 points. I give you 30. Like, why? With 10 rebounds and 10 assists. Like, this is one-on-one. Where you gonna get the 10 assists from? I'll bust your ass. Like, miss, why are you yelling at me right now? You're on the CVS. Why are you yelling? There's a self-checkout lane opening now. Why are you yelling at me? Why? What's all this energy? Why? Be competitive, man. No matter what it is, too. We just compete. Like, I remember, like, I took my girl to, like, a paint sip, right? I don't know if you ever been to a paint sip, right? I took my girl to a paint sip, right? And if you don't know what it is, basically, it's like a class like this, right? Then you have, like, an instructor, like a Bob Ross dude. That's what I call him, right? Right, Bob Ross dude. And, you know, you're painting on a canvas, and you're drinking as well. But some people go to the paint and sip, they don't even paint. They think it's open bar. All they do is just come and drink. They just, this tastes good. Like you're drinking paint right now. Why are you putting your paintbrush and everything? Nah, this is a paint berry and vodka. That's not it. Right? So I'm painting, right? I'm happy about my painting, right? So I paint like a mountain, right? Sun, a little water, right? So I'm happy about my painting. So, you know, I asked, you know, Bob Ross, dude, the instructor. I'm like, yo, you know, what you think about my painting? He's like, that's your painting? I'm like, okay, oh, that's your painting right there? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay. He started looking at it. He's like, okay. I'll bust your ass in paint sip. This shit is garbage. And your mountain look like a TV stand. This shit, I'll throw it away if I was you. Miss, are you with him? Yeah, this shit is trash. Matter of fact, both y'all paintings is trash. This shit is garbage. I give you 30 different colors. I said 30 different colors. I don't even know 30 different colors. That's crazy. I know blue and yellow make green. Where we gonna get the other 27 colors from? Different math. Right? Y'all remember like when you come to school like the crayon box? Right? Like a 64 pack? You aight. But if you come through like a 124 crayon box, you a legend. You really a legend right now. And you start feeling yourself. You start asking the teacher if she need anything. Yo, you good up there? Not good? Is the class good? I'm saying I got colors back here just to make sure. Have no pride, have no pride. I'm just saying, me as a chalkboard monitor, I just felt the need to ask if anyone needs anything. I got colors back here. All right. Feeling yourself. Oh no, we competitive, man. That's why I love the Bronx. Like, I'm from the Bronx. Well, there we go. Like our thing is, like look, somebody shouted out Queens. That's how you know Queens get no love. Brooklyn, Harlem, no one said anything. Queens just felt, yo, Queens. No one said, everybody had pride. Like, nah, we good. I know. No one said anything. Only thing that guys like coming to America. Yo, Eddie Murphy came to our block. Like, all right. 50. Like, all right, Queens. All right. Thank you so much for coming, Queens. He was gonna make the album. Queens is gonna make the album. I gotta give my credit. Yo, that's me saying Queens on the album. Look at us. That's me. Everybody else. What part of Queens, real quick? What part of Queens? What part of Queens? Southside. All right. Like, you heard the mumbling. So, just mumbling. See, I let it. Mumbling. We don't really fuck with Southside. Well, well, I rock with you. Thank you for coming out, bro. Oh, okay. All right. But I'm from the Bronx, man, and I'm like, every place got their own little thing. Like, our thing is, if you see something, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. No one knows nothing. No one sees it. Keep it to yourself. Right? I'm telling you, like, I was in the park, right? And I see this lady burping this baby, right? Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, she was burping this baby dumb hard. But it was like one of those babies with, like, no sense of humor, so he's staring at me. His hat was falling off, but he just kept staring at me. Right? Burping the baby so much, the baby throws up on her, on her mother's shoulder. I'm like, ooh, shit is disgusting. So I wanted to let the mom know, like, miss, I want to let you know that your baby just threw up on your shoulder. But I felt like the baby was looking at me like, you about to snitch on me? He just fixed his hat. Mind your fucking business before I throw up on you. And by any chance, you happen to have a lighter, because this onesie got no pockets. I said the Lion King onesie. It's got no pockets. Got no pockets.
I'm a true crime junkie. I love true crime, part of the true crime community, which the true crime community, you have to either one, be covered in cat hair, or too uninteresting to be murdered. Like, I love true crime podcasts, but they'll have like advertising in the middle of the podcast, and it really fucks with the flow of the whole episode. Like, Teresa's body was found, her arms and legs dismembered, her genitals exposed, a letter stapled to her chest that said there are 3 more. But an easier way to send letters would be stamps.com. Just use the promo code Teresa's Stump and get your free stamps today. That's AMP, not UMP. Fucking 2 years and we're gonna have true crime conventions, you know? They don't have them already. Like, all these girls showing up like as like the slutty version of OJ's glove. For $20, somebody pushes you down a staircase, you know? Casey Anthony restaurant, kids eat free. Me and my wife, we love Dateline. That's our favorite show, Dateline. Which, if you're married, I recommend Dateline because it's the show where they'd be like, and then they found both of her ankles in the meat grinder, and you're like, see, I'm not that fucking bad. Not old meat grinder Mike over here, you know. Keith Morrison's the greatest host of all time. He's better than Johnny Carson, better than Howard Stern, Diane Sawyer. I don't care. He is the greatest because he has a beautiful intro that immediately gets dark. Where he's like, Janine was like Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Flowing red hair, piercing eyes, and they're both found at the bottom of the ocean. My wife gets nervous because crime's gone up in New York, and she's nervous that she's going to get abducted, you know? And I'm like, honey, you're 44. That ship has sailed. That's not an Amber Alert, that's a life alert. My wife's hot, but no kidnapper wants to deal with a 40-year-old fucking woman. You know, brings her back to the place, throws her in his fuck dungeon, then puts a water in front of her, and she's like, you know, a coaster under this would be nice. I'm calling the cops on myself. This is frustrating. Very frustrating. I love Batman. Did people see the new Batman? If you haven't seen it, it's a guy who dresses up as a bat. He fights crime. But they modernized everything, you know? They modernized everything. Like, in this one, like, the Riddler, he's a serial killer. And Batman, he's emo. And Alfred, still a butler. Still a weird-ass fucking butler. Like, that's the most unrealistic character for me in the whole Batman series. Because what billionaire that you know is going to listen to his help? You know? At what point is Jeff Bezos going to be like, let me see what my TaskRabbit thinks, you know? Here's a realistic conversation between Bruce Wayne and Alfred, okay? It would be Alfred coming into the, you know, master dining room, and Bruce Wayne's like eating steak, and he's like, Master Wayne, I found a way for us to beat the Penguin. And he's like, oh, that's great, Alfred. How about you Swiffer my fucking bathroom? How about that? That's why I pay you to be here. Yeah, right now, Swiffer in front of me. Don't look at me, fucking Swiffer. Yeah. Now pretend you're my dead parents. Yeah, it's been a rough year for me. My mom passed away. She had signs of alcoholic dementia, which is the coolest way to get dementia. Oh, your mom got dementia for being old? My mom got dementia for being born to rock! This is us. This is her kicking us. Since my mom passed away, me and my family have been fighting a lot. We've been at each other's throats. But, you know, if you knew my mom, that's what she would have wanted. So, we're just trying to make sure we do good. My sister called me up the other day, and she told me she talked to a medium who talked to my mom, and it was nice. She said my mom's having a good time in heaven, and that one of the things she's doing in heaven is taking care of cancer kids who died of cancer in her heaven, which made me think, how much does it gotta suck to be a kid that dies and you get to heaven and you find out you still have cancer? That is very rough. Oh, I'm finally here after all the chemo and radiation therapy. Jesus comes down, hello, my son. You lived a great life. Oh, I'm just so glad to be here and to be cancer-free. About that. You start chemo tomorrow. Welcome to heaven. It's stage 4 up here. Yeah, so she's dead. But my dad almost died too. He got a encephalitis that went to his brain, and he hallucinated for about a month straight. I swear to God, it was fucking crazy. One of the hallucinations that he had, I swear to God, he thought that Tina Fey was trying to kill him. Dad, if anybody from SNL is gonna kill you, it's Alec Baldwin. You know, like, the history.